When it comes to your intimate life, are you more focused on being a good giver or a good receiver? I'm Darshana Avila, your guide to all things erotic wholeness, and it is my pleasure, as always, to be here with you exploring in the realms of sex, intimacy, relationships, and how we can really thrive. And today I want to talk to you to debunk for you, actually, a myth that I see come up over and over and over again. I even had this happen recently on a dating app. I was in communication with someone and they gave me this one liner like, yeah, I'm a giver. And it is a wonderful thing to give. And I think that many of us have a bias as we seek to really grow and evolve in our intimate connections to how do we want to give? What is it that we want to be the active offerer of in our connections? But there's a lot to be said about knowing how to be a really good receiver. Because the thing about it is that when you are in the role of the receiver, you are 50% of whatever equation, of whatever experience is going on. If you are not actually open to truly taking in, experiencing, and enjoying what the person who's giving has on offer, what's the point, right? And so I want to encourage that there is a ton to be gained from growing our capacity to receive. And there's many reasons why this can be uncomfortable. Oftentimes, as the receiver, the attention is on us. There is an active being done to that we are on the receiving end of. Touch, stimulation, attention, focus, and many of us can feel uncomfortable being the center of attention. Particularly, I see this happen for many women and those who are AFAB, although none of this is ever specific to just one sex or gender. But for us AFAB people, there can be this idea of, oh gosh, am I taking too much time? Are they okay? Do they actually like what they are giving me? Are they okay doing this? And we get up into our heads and there are all these stories that we're telling that may have absolutely no bearing on what the other person is experiencing. And I can tell you this, even though it may not be apples to a personal erotic exchange, as a practitioner who focuses on one directional touch, which is to say that I am constantly the giver in my client sessions and I am helping my clients to receive. If I didn't love giving, if I didn't truly enjoy the experience of offering to and facilitating an experience for other people, and if they were not joyfully, expressively receiving what it was that I was offering, there's no way I'd be doing this work after all of these years. It's just not sustainable that way. And the same holds true in our personal relationships. We need to have a capacity to receive what our lovers and partners and friends and companions are offering to us. And if we are hindering that with our guilt, with our discomfort, with our shame, whatever it may be, we've got a beautiful opportunity then to unwind from that. We have a beautiful opportunity to really consider what is it that stands in between us and joyfully, unabashedly receiving the attention, the pleasure, the affection, the stimulation that our beloveds want to offer. Now, of course, what they're offering is only a piece of it. You have to like it. You have to be in an exchange that actually works for you, which leads to another part of this equation. And in order to be a good receiver, you have to have some insight into what you actually want. And this is a huge growth edge for so many of us, being able to identify and articulate the particulars of how we want to be touched, how we want to express our sexuality, the roles that we want to play, the experiences that we want to co-create. This is a learning edge for so many of us because oftentimes we don't know what we don't know. Oftentimes we don't know a boundary or a preference until we've had a chance to experiment with it, excuse me. So that too speaks to another opportunity for growth and another opportunity to really expand your erotic intelligence and bring more pleasure into your sex life, your intimate connections, all facets of relating, really. Knowing more about what you want and being able to speak up and advocate for yourself are integral, Then the person who is giving to you has a bit of a roadmap. They have more clarity, some insight, because you're giving feedback, you're giving direction about what works for you. And then it's a mutually satisfying exchange because nobody's left guessing or wondering. They're not left wondering if you like what's happening. You're not wondering if they're actually okay giving it to you. There's a clear channel of communication, and this does wonders for the health of your relationships and the satisfaction that you can derive from your encounters. So, really, summing it up, consider what you can do to grow your capacity to be a great receiver, not just a good giver. Both are important, but receiving tends to be the growth edge for so many of us. And integral to doing that is gaining more clarity about what you actually like, what you actually want. This, my dears, is at the beating heart of what I guide people into, what I coach, what I counsel around. So if you really want to get into this, if you have a desire to know yourself that intimately so you can show up and receive all of the goodness that's available to you, we should chat. Head on over to my website. There's self-paced courses that you can enjoy right here and now. There's opportunities to work with me directly, whether in group or privately. And I would be delighted to hear from you about how this goes. Be sure that you subscribe here for future updates. And I am wishing you all the goodness as you take your journey to erotic wholeness. Be well and see you soon.